Coach, I'm sure there was a lot you were pleased with your group collectively tonight, but when you get two performances like that from your cornerstone players, just how uplifting is that for a group trying to find its way?
I think it was great. I think it showed so much fight, so much effort, so much energy. I mean, from what they were able to do. I mean, like, I love what their numbers did, how aggressive they were, but, you know, I got to give big a shout out to Wendell Carter Jr. And I think we talk about a lot of things that happen within a game, and guys, you see the numbers behind it, what these guys did. Franz and Paolo were absolutely incredible, but I think the numbers behind what Wendell Carter did was absolutely fantastic. His presence, his physicality, his energy, his toughness, and his ability not to get rattled in situations was a lot what propelled this team to continue to fight and go. And then you got to talk about Jalen Suggs being able to come back, regardless of picking up those fouls. I don't think he was going to play that many minutes anyway on the minutes restriction, but again, his ability to set the tone early with his level of physicality, intensity, and getting the crowd involved, all those things were a big part of this group continuing to fight.
On perhaps an emotional night, there were a lot of fouls, a lot of texts, some skirmishes between the sides, but on an emotional night for your team to have that type of performance in the fourth quarter, just what does it say about the group and what they did?
It's the conversation that they've had. It's what they've continued to build to no matter what's happening, like staying the course, following the process, trying to keep your poise no matter what's happening within the game. It says that there's maturity within this group. There's an accountability to the group of doing the right thing to find a way to win the game. It had been easy to hang our heads in situations, but these guys did a heck of a job of continuing to fight and push forward no matter what was happening.
You opened the fourth quarter with Paolo, Franz, and Jalen out there. What kind of went behind that decision, knowing that to win this game, you probably were going to need Paolo and Franz to go the distance and deliver for you?
It was them, to be honest with you. You know, those guys they're fighters, they're competitors, they're tough. They want to find ways to win. And we talked about the 5-game losing streak and us having a process of getting back and it being like training camp. All that is very true. But when the game is on the line and you want to get something done, this is what your competitors do. That's what they did. Franz, 25 points in the fourth quarter, found a way. Paolo making the right plays and right decisions at time, finding the right play. That's what it's about when you talk about superstars. They find ways to get it done.
What does that say about kind of the ownership that they've taken to break this streak and kind of force their way to a win?
That's the conversation we've had. That's the conversation they've had. You talk about accountability and the right thing and doing it the right way. They took ownership of exactly what they needed to do to find a way, no matter what it was. And it wasn't a beautiful game. It was a physical, aggressive, chippy, which we love. That's exactly who we are, and that's who we'll continue to be every time you step on the floor against the Orlando Magic.
You talked pregame about how there was going to be a sense of familiarity with having everybody back from night one, although it wasn't going to look like night one. To have the energy and the physicality back amongst your group, is this kind of what this group is capable of?
Yes. Yeah, I think, you know, finding that joy for the game, one, being out there together, two, that physicality, that toughness, that aggression, that fight no matter what's happening. I look up one time after we go on the run and I see Jalen going to the crowd like we were in a WWE match. But at the end of the day, that's what he provides. He provides that energy. He provides that joy, that passion, that caring about how you play the game of basketball, because it is still a game and you have to have some joy while you're playing it.
You consistently keep bringing up, the physicality, the competitive nature, and the edge you guys continue to play with. For Detroit to kind of match that energy and that chippiness tonight, do you feel like maybe going about it in the right way, that's kind of good for the game of basketball?
I think you have to go about it the right way. I mean, there's always going to be an edge. These guys are competitive. I don't think anybody's trying to do anything that's not right. But you have competitors and guys that want to get after it each night, and that's what you're going to see. And obviously, we're going to have to continue to stay smart about those things, keep our focus, and what we always talk about is using our energy in the right way. And that's pouring into your teammates, pouring into the energy of what the crowd is giving you to get that momentum. And that's why we always talk about having the home court advantage, because our fans were absolutely phenomenal tonight in getting us going when we went on that run.
Franz tied the franchise record for 25 points in the fourth quarter with Tracy McGrady. What were those conversations like throughout the game with him, or did you say
Leave me in. Leave me in.
That's what he told you?
Leave me in.
For him to say that and have the confidence and back up his talk. What does that mean
He's a
for him?
competitor. I tell you, this is what your best players do. Between he and Paolo, what they're capable of doing when they put their heads down and their minds to it, they've worked so hard. They continue to work so hard. Pure professionals about getting it done the right way, putting guys in the right position, understanding our spacing on the floor, executing down the stretch. But just the competitive will and the competitive nature of these two young men is absolutely incredible. And that bleeds over to the rest of the team, and each person provides that with this group.
How did kind of that will manifest itself earlier in the game when the offense was kind of sputtering again, and we're kind of
Say
seeing
what it
some
was. It was not pretty.
Yeah, it wasn't pretty. It wasn't pretty.
It was
but-
not, and it was not. And that's we're gonna find. You have to find ways to win sometimes when it's not pretty. But the ability to say, no matter what's happening within a game, you have the resiliency to push through. And we've been there before. We talk about shots not falling. We didn't let it impact us. And if you can stay the course, no matter what's happening, there's a level of confidence that rides back into you at the end of the game. Now you're able to step into your shots with confidence, knowing you've put the work in, and then that competitive nature continues to kick in with each one of these guys.
I'm just curious about the way this game was officiated. I don't want to ask necessarily about that, but knowing that you guys are a physical team and that you guys play a physical brand of defense, when the game is being whistled maybe one way or another, how do you guys have to go about maybe adjusting to the way that the game is being called?
Here's the thing. We shot 38 free throws. We shot 38 free throws. They shot 28 free throws. We can complain, but we got to the free throw line more. So at the end of the day, the whistle was actually looked like it was in our way. So you have to know that this is how the game's being called. You have to adjust accordingly. You can't complain. You can't whine. You got to come together. Use your energy in the right way. The officials aren't going to change in that moment because you complained. I've never seen them reverse a call unless you challenge it, and I think I ran out of mine. So I think you've just got to be able to come together, do the right thing by each other, and keep your focus and your energy on each other versus however the game's being called, and adjust accordingly. Because we're not going to stop playing as physical as we are, no matter what.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll be back.
Franz, Coach had mentioned after the game that you requested to keep staying in there and kind of push your minutes. How much did you feel ownership to help turn this thing around, and what were you seeing in the fourth quarter tonight?
Yeah, we're struggling the last couple games, and I felt really good. So I think it was like 24 was the number, but yeah, we really needed a win. So and I felt really good. If I wouldn't have felt that good, I probably wouldn't have said it. But yeah, it was probably a good decision, and played a good fourth. I was just being aggressive. Obviously, it helps when you make a shot. And just really happy I was able to turn the game around on my own game after a tough start.
Obviously, you two have been through a lot together, but for Jamal to trust you in that moment and leave you in, and just what does that say about the relationship you guys have and how it's grown?
Yeah, obviously credit to him and the coaching staff. I think they challenge us to communicate with them a lot, and they want to hear our input. And at the end of the day, obviously it's their call too. But I think they appreciate our input and us talking to them. And obviously it's the same for us. Not every head coach in the NBA allows you to do that.
Franz, I know you guys aren't completely whole yet, but first time since October 30th that you, Paolo, and Jalen have all been available. Just how familiar did tonight feel? And when you hear that, what goes through your mind?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, no, it was really good for almost everybody to play together, get some reps together. Obviously, that's been tough for us this year. It's kind of hard to find a rhythm if you don't play together. So, yeah, just good to get that first game under our belt. Since October, and hopefully we can get in a rhythm together and close the season out the right way.
You mentioned how important it was to get the win tonight. What kind of sparked or spurred on that fourth quarter run? I think you started 20-6. How much was that just about you guys taking ownership and saying that we need to stop this losing streak and make sure we get this win?
I think all game, all day, it was really a character check for us today. So, I think all day, even in shoot-around, I thought we had a great spirit about us, great focus. Even first 3 quarters, even though not everything went our way. And that's what makes a good team really good, that you can fight through those times. And like I said, I think we showed character today. We need to continue to do that.
Franz, you scored 25 in the fourth, matching a franchise record for most points in a quarter by Tracy McGrady. To hear your name kind of mentioned in that same breath, what does that mean to you?
It's almost T-Mac. It's always him. Obviously it's really cool. And especially cool for me, after a tough start, to stay confident and keep playing my game. There's been games in the past where I didn't do that, so I think that's growth for me. Yeah.
Franz, you were 1 for 12 heading into the fourth quarter. Just your second game back from injury. A lot of guys in that situation might put their head down, come out, just to continue along the same path. What was your mindset heading into the fourth tonight, and sort of how did you go about turning it around and getting the win for your team?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not to talk too much about myself, but it's something I'm really proud of, honestly. Fighting through those times within a game isn't always easy, especially when you're someone that always wants to help the team and always get mad at myself pretty quickly. So that's definitely something that I've been working on, and I think that work has been showing off this season, honestly.
Thank you, Boogie.
Thank you.
You gave it close to 40 minutes tonight. How much ownership were you guys taking to come away with a win tonight and kind of put that pressure on yourself as one of the leaders of this team?
Yeah, I feel like this was a must-win game. I think everybody in the locker room understood that, and I told Coach I was feeling good, and don't worry about the minutes restriction.
What can a win in a must-win game do for you guys moving forward?
I think just a lot. I think we had to come together, tell each other, that we had to all be better, and we knew that this game wasn't going to be easy. They're playing really well, the Pistons, and so we were going to have all 15 involved, and everyone had to come together, and that's what we did. And so to get a win, it just kind of shifts the energy, shifts the momentum, and propels us on to the next one.
What was the mindset at the start of that fourth quarter to go on that, I think it was 20-6 run to open the quarter and take control of this game?
Yeah, I think that's kind of our signature thing when we're at home. We know that eventually if we keep the pressure up on defense and we get out and we run, it'll wear the teams down. And so I think you saw that in that fourth quarter when we went on the run. And then from there, they were kind of playing catch-up. And so that's kind of what we want to be able to do to teams, and it was good to see us, get back to that.
Paolo, you, Franz, and Jalen were all available for the first time since the end of October. Just after everything that happened in this game, how familiar did that feel? And as what transpired happened, what was going through your mind as that was going on?
Yeah, it felt great. I can't lie. Like you said, it's been a really long time since we all been out there together. I think it was just a lot of excitement, not only from us three, but from the whole team, just to, have us get back to, almost full strength and be able to play in front of the home crowd, with a full team and get a win.
Paolo, you struggled with your shot last game. Franz struggled with his shot for the first 3 quarters in this one. But Mosley talked about star players turning out in situations like this in a close game, making plays down the stretch. What was it like for you guys in the fourth quarter, coming out hot and just kind of taking the team under your wing and going out, and you and Franz having 30+ for just the second time in your career together?
Yeah, I think you got to be able to give yourself grace. I think that's something Coach Mose told me and Franz coming back from injury. Me and Franz, we hold ourselves and each other to a ridiculously high standard. We expect a lot from each other, and so when we don't perform well, I think we both take it really hard. And so I give credit to Coach for reminding us that coming back from an injury like we are, not everything's going to go our way. You know, it may differ from game to game, and so I think him just giving us that perspective changed our mindset a little bit, and I think it allowed us to kind of more depend on each other, help each other out, lean on each other. You know, I think in that fourth quarter, you know, I was, you know, letting Franz just go. You know, he had 25 in the fourth, and he had it going. And so just stuff like that where I think us being on the same page, us knowing that we're still getting back into the flow, but we also have to be able to, you know, like you said, finish those games out.
Paolo, you guys obviously played a phenomenal game, especially in that fourth quarter, pulling away. What did you make on the opposite side, though, of Cade and his performance tonight, 35 points, and obviously another all-star level guard?
Yeah, I mean, Cade's playing at a ridiculously high level. You know, he's got Detroit playing great basketball. Obviously, they've made some additions, got some vets with Hardaway, Beasley, and Harris, but, you know, Cade's the one making it all go, just, you know, the way he controls the pace on offense. And, you know, he's a high-volume player, and, I mean, he's getting assists, he's getting points. He's a big guard. He's putting guys in the post, finishing in the paint. He's a really unique player.
Paolo, Paolo, going into playoffs, what motivates you most? Is it the pressure of carrying the team or the moment when you see everyone click together at full speed as tonight? Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know if I'm thinking about the playoffs yet, but, you know, when we do get there, I think, you know, we'll just be excited, you know, to be back there. I think that's the goal for us right now, is to put ourselves in the best position for the playoffs, and I think we're all excited.
Paolo, Jamal talked specifically about everybody that was doing well throughout the game, but specifically made mention of Wendell. You know, obviously with a lot that's gone on in his role in the variance, what did you make of his performance tonight, and how crucial was he for you guys?
He was huge, just having that presence on the inside, battling with Stewart and Duran. You know, those are two guys that are really physical, and you know, if your bigs aren't prepared for that, you know, they can dominate a game on the glass and in the paint. And so Wendell did a great job, J.I. did a great job of battling those guys, and you know, we tell Dell all the time, you know, when he's playing with that force and that aggression, it turns us into a whole different team.
Thank you, Pete.